Hey y'all, welcome to Paige's Perspective, where I help you find your inner strength to cope with life. Are you overwhelmed? Do you feel like you can't think straight? Focusing is just about impossible? Maybe you're losing things? Do you feel like it's difficult to regulate your emotions? Maybe you feel so overwhelmed you can't sleep, or it feels like the bird is just shitting all over you and you can't even make decisions anymore. I feel you. I was you. It is not a fun place to be. And I still get this way sometimes in different parts of my life. I just don't stay stuck there very long. But you may feel stuck and exhausted, and even coffee isn't helping. Like, being in a relationship with an unhealthy partner is really difficult. You may be the one taking on all the things. The mental load of scheduling appointments for kids, making sure they are fed, extracurricular activities, making sure the bills are paid, you're working, you've got school emails to deal with, homework, field trips, all while trying to take care of ourselves and witnessing someone who can't even take care of themselves. So it's like having another child, or they put themselves first in recovery. Some of us may not even have a partner with an addiction issue, and they're just not an equal partner to you. So this episode's for you too. You know, the world asks a lot of us, and there's this built-in expectation that we are to give more and always take the high road. That happens in relationships, sex, motherhood, and even careers. So it's got to stop. We've been programmed to take on more than we need to. And what happens is we suffer in silence and then become so overwhelmed that we lose our minds, or we speak up and no one hears us. So we're damned if we do, and we're damned if we don't. We need our spouses to step up and adult. Damn it. Our jobs are 24/7. We can't check out because someone has to be responsible to make sure our children are getting their needs met. And apparently the unhealthy partner gets their needs met by being able to do whatever the fuck they want. Who is helping us get our needs met? You know, guys, I'm grateful for where I'm at. I'm in a different place than I used to be. Matt has truly stepped up to the plate and has helped me feel way less overwhelmed by becoming an equal partner. You know, he does laundry without having to ask. He cooks for the kids occasionally. He sets up appointments. He goes to field trips. He takes them to appointments. This one is new, and I am totally here for it. He is involved with all the kids' activities. He supports me in anything I do. He doesn't just come home and sit on ass to decompress, because he understands that being a present father and husband means making some sacrifices and stepping up. We have a beautiful, balanced life now that I am so extremely grateful for. And I'm only sharing this because I've been where many of you are. And it's okay to not feel okay with your situation. It's okay to want more. It's okay to want an equal partner. It's okay to stand up for yourself. Okay, rant over and onto some growth-oriented things. So how do you handle being overwhelmed when you have an unequal partner, or just feeling overwhelmed in general? First, we got to acknowledge the chaos. Like, this is the first step in so many things that I used to not even understand, but I totally get it now that I've had to live through all this stuff. Whenever we recognize these feelings of being overwhelmed, it kind of helps us push through it easier. It's like when we recognize our emotions, we get to have a non-judgmental response to them, and it's easier for us to feel them, and then we get through it. It's kind of something you have to live. It's very hard for me to articulate. But whenever we understand that feeling overwhelmed is natural, whenever you're living with stress and like the emotional roller coaster it creates, it's going to help you push through just a little bit easier. So you accept your emotions. You know, it's okay to feel confused or anxious or unsure. You know, accept them instead of trying to fight them, because they are valid responses to an overwhelming situation. A lot of the times we just want to push them aside and say, no, I'm not supposed to feel like this. I'm supposed to be strong. I need to make sure I get everything done. I'm stronger than this. Why do I feel this way? No, guys, no. There's a reason our body is responding the way that they're responding. It's responding because it is a stressful situation and it is a valid response. All right, another thing is going to be taking a step back. When chaos is just all around you, it is so important to step back and remove yourself from the immediate situation for just a moment. Like you can go for a walk. You can find a quiet time, like a quiet place to breathe, go to your safe space. It's okay whenever you feel overwhelmed because this helps you not react it's okay to take a step back when you feel overwhelmed because this kind of helps you not respond in a way that you may regret, because a lot of the times we won't pause before we act. And then when we make decisions based on, our emotional highs or the lows, we might regret them. So pause and taking a step back is just going to help you become a little bit more rational and make some grounded choices. Next one is really important that a lot of times we discuss this sometimes, but I think we kind of forget about it, is like clarifying your values. It seems so simple and basic, but whenever we recognize our values, that's our guide. That's our guide to help us make decisions. If peace or emotional safety is a core value of yours, your decisions need to align with that, with your priorities. Focus on what's most important to you. What boundaries are non-negotiable? Whenever you define these values, it's going to make it easier to make decisions because you know what you stand for. All right, the next one's going to be breaking it down. Small decisions first. When you're overwhelmed, start with small, manageable decisions rather than trying to fix everything at once. Like a lot of the times, I know this is good for lists. A lot of people like to make lists and you can check them off and put the things down that are priority and then kind of go with the flow and start small. And that can help you not feel so overwhelmed by having to do so many tasks. And then focus on what you can control. Concentrate on the aspects of the situation that you can influence rather than trying to solve the problem outside of your control, like changing somebody else's behavior. You can't really do that. You can only focus on your behavior. And that's going to help you feel like you're more in control of the situation and takes away the pressure of having to fix everything. The next one is going to be simplifying the problem, which is kind of what I said earlier, is like prioritize the most pressing issue. Write a list down. What is something that has to be done? Not everything needs immediate attention. Let's say like certain emails may not need to be responded to immediately. Take some time. Text messages don't need to be responded to immediately. Everybody doesn't need to have you at all times. Your mental health and your well-being is way more important than responding to those things so quickly. Avoid overthinking. And this one is a hard one for a lot of people. And I completely understand because I was an overthinker and an overanalyzer for a very long time. And it's something that I've really tried to let go of. And I've let go of it a lot. It's helped me become way more peaceful because if we overanalyze every potential outcome, it's going to paralyze you. We need to learn how to make decisions based on what we know right now rather than trying to predict the future. Because when we overthink and we overanalyze all of these problems, we're trying to predict the future and we think we have more control over it if we predict what's going to happen. When the reality is we need to be making decisions based on what we already know right now because we can always turn it around. We can always say, you know what, I don't know if that was the best decision to make, but I made it and let's learn from it. The next one's going to be trust yourself. Trust yourself. So build your self-trust. Whenever we are in chaotic situations and we feel overwhelmed, doubt is going to creep in. Remind yourself that you are capable of making decisions that are right for you, even if they are difficult. I know this is really, really hard whenever there's chaos going on because you do want things to be perfect. We have to allow room for imperfection because no decision in life is going to be perfect. It's just not. But you got to trust that you're doing your best with what you have, with the information that you have right now and the circumstances at hand. The next is going to be commit to action. So act, don't delay. Once you start having clarity, commit to the action, even if it feels uncomfortable. Because whenever we are indecisive, it's going to keep us stuck. And we may be stuck in this overwhelming feeling for way too long. And then things are just going to pile up. And then we might get into a deep depression. And then we don't even know how to get out of that. And it's going to be more difficult to crawl out of. But action helps you move forward, even if it's in small steps. And be ready to adjust, because if new information comes to light, don't be afraid to reassess your decision. This is what I was saying earlier about making room for imperfection, and it's okay to make decisions based on what you know right now and not knowing what the future holds, because flexibility is key when navigating through all of these times. You don't want to stay stuck in it for too long. We've got to be flexible and be okay with making decisions that are right for us in the moment. And then if it doesn't work out, we can address it at a later time. It's okay, but staying stuck is worse than not doing anything at all. So these are a few things that I've done over the years for myself, that whenever I become super overwhelmed, which sometimes this happens whenever I'm with work or with just life in general with children and stuff. And we all become overwhelmed. I chill out on social media. You take breaks from social media. It's okay. You don't have to be there for everybody. It's so important for you to put your needs first before you go out there and try to help others. Another one, and I'm going to get into this pretty deeply, and you're going to be like, why the hell are we talking about this? But this is something that I've done a few times that I felt overwhelmed, and it is absolutely amazing. Take a few weeks off of caffeine to reset your body. It has been a game changer for me when I feel overwhelmed. Like, it takes away the jitters, the physical sensations that we get when we're overwhelmed. It has literally forced me to slow down and do one thing at a time. When I'm extra caffeinated, it's like my mind can't chill and I'm not able to focus on the task I need to focus on, because I can't focus on what I need to be focusing on because I just want to move on to the next thing. And it has been easier to meditate and be more mindful during the day because I'm just able to control my thoughts easier. I'll take a little bit of sleepiness over the jitters any day. And I know my body is going to, I've been off of caffeine for 2 weeks now, I believe, almost 3 weeks, maybe it's 2.5 weeks. And I've had some times of being sleepy, and maybe that's really the only problem I'm having with it, is that I'm tired, but all the other benefits outweigh just being tired. So I kind of just want to go through what it does to our body when we remove the caffeine. So since it's a stimulant, it can help us boost our energy, and our focus, but it's only temporary because it increases our heart rate, our nervous system activity, and all the things that can make you feel more anxious and overwhelmed. When we remove it, we are less likely to experience the physical symptoms of anxiety, like shaking hands, rapid heartbeats, or a feeling of nervousness. I am pretty sure my blood pressure was high for a while whenever I was drinking way too much caffeine. And I've always been one that had shaking hands because of my anxiety, and it always got worse with caffeine. And I've recognized when I take away the caffeine, I don't really have those shaky hands anymore. It balances your mood. Whenever after the initial boost, caffeine leads to energy crashes, which makes you feel even more drained and emotionally unstable. And it's going to make you feel up and down, which can contribute to the feelings of feeling overwhelmed. They make it harder to maintain a steady mood and mindset throughout the day. So we always talk about the highs, the lows, the ups and downs of this life and our emotions and all the things. Well, caffeine is doing this too. It's doing it within our body, and it's hard for us to regulate our emotions whenever we have this stimulant in us that's making us go up and down, up and down. So the next one is going to be like, you're going to have more stable energy. Your body can maintain more balanced energy levels, which helps you stay calm and focused instead of having the highs followed by the fatigue or irritability. I have been so calm throughout this process of not having caffeine. It has been really wild. I didn't realize, I know that I've done this before. Like I said, I've taken away caffeine and I realize the benefits it's done. But this time I'm actually digging more I'm digging deeper into it, and I'm really focusing on what it's doing to me, because I think I posted in the community recently how I'm not doing a lot of structured things. I'm really listening to my body. It's kind of an awakening process. I'm eating when I'm hungry. I'm sleeping when I'm tired. I'm working out as much as I can. I mean, I do have a schedule with that, but I'm really just focusing on me and my body and my emotions and all the things, instead of other things telling me what to do, or people telling me what to do, or a watch telling me what to do, or an app telling me what to do. And it's been really empowering, because I'm learning to even trust myself more. So that's why I'm on this caffeine kick. So y'all just bear with me, okay? You're going to have less sleep disruption. Poor sleep leads to the mental fog and the increased stress, which does worsen the feelings of being overwhelmed. So my sleep has been pretty damn good. Like, I don't take melatonin nearly as much as I usually do, because I'm actually tired enough to go to sleep. I used to not be able to drink caffeine after 2 p.m. or whatnot, but I think that this is just not having caffeine throughout the day has really helped me have a natural sleep cycle. And then we have a deeper sleep. It makes it easier to handle the stressful situations when we have improved quality of sleep. It reduces your cortisol levels. So whenever we drink caffeine, it's going to increase the production of cortisol, which is a body stress hormone. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this, because a lot of us have looked it up on what it feels like to be overwhelmed. It's kind of been a buzzword that's been discussed a lot, but it's important. It's not really a buzzword. That's the wrong term. But elevated cortisol over time can increase feelings of stress and overwhelm, and it can impair your cognitive functions like decision making. And I know when my levels are high, I can feel it. I can feel it in us whenever I'm super stressed. So when I took the coffee away, I'm not having those physical symptoms any longer. And then you can have more natural energy. Without it, we're going to learn to manage the stress and energy more naturally, relying less on stimulants and more on your body's natural rhythms and responsives. That's literally what I was just talking about, what I'm doing, like really listening and tuning into my body and listening to it, instead of relying on things that are, instead of relying on stimulants or anything that's outside of my natural state. It encourages better hydration. So you're going to be more hydrated whenever you stop drinking coffee, because it acts as a diuretic. That can lead to dehydration, which can increase fatigue, reduce focus, and amplify feelings of stress or overwhelm. So whenever I wake up sometimes and I feel super off and I feel super moody, I feel like, okay, am I going to have another rough day? What is going on here? Instead of drinking water, instead of drinking coffee, I will drink a ton of water. And the way it stabilizes my mood is absolutely amazing. The power of water is pretty damn incredible that a lot of us overlook. It's just going to help you feel more balanced and less stressed throughout the day. It's less stimulation on the nervous system. So if we're drinking coffee regularly, it's going to stimulate our nervous system, which is responsible for the fight or flight response. And I know a lot of us live in the fight or flight response life, like survival mode, and it can leave you feeling tense and overwhelmed, even in situations that don't warrant that response. That's when I know that I'm super overwhelmed and need to take a step back. And it encourages a calmer, more mindful state of being, helping you to respond to challenges with more clarity and less urgency. That has been one of the biggest takeaways that I've had from this, is that there's not as much urgency to get things done, because I'm able to just kind of go with the flow. So if you choose to cut out coffee, if you don't, that's cool too. I'm just saying that this has been a game changer for me. And I just wanted to share with you guys, because I think it's an amazing tool that a lot of us could use. Just give it a shot if you want to. It's going to give your body and your mind a chance to reset and reduce that stress hormones and maintain more consistent energy and mood levels, All of these things contribute to feeling less overwhelmed. So I'm sure that you guys didn't think I was going to be bringing up coffee into this discussion, but here we are. It's a game changer for me, and it really helps balance all of my emotions and responses. And, that's what I'm here for. I like to share what I go through so that maybe you can, take my perspective and see if it works for you. Here's the next thing. Rest when you need to rest, and get movement in when you need to get movement in. If you're really struggling with being overwhelmed, listen to our Gentle Self-Care podcast to help you get started. We've got some great tips and tricks in there because so many of us are overwhelmed in life, and it's due to so many things. But when we don't have an equal partner, it makes it even more difficult. I remember it was easier for me to handle things alone than it was to have him around and not pulling his weight. It would really piss me off, and I had a sense of control and peace when I was able to do it all on my own. If he was just sitting on the couch while I was doing everything and not being mindful about what's going on around him, like it would make me feel very upset. But with him now available, it's incredible. And I'm not nearly as overwhelmed as I had been before. Like I said, I'll get overwhelmed with work and schedules occasionally, but it's manageable because I know where I can step away and what I need to do to get back on track. I'm able to see things more clearly, which makes it easier to make decisions. So let's just simplify this whole thing. Rest when you can. Ask for help if you have anyone around you to help you. It's okay. Don't sit in the overwhelming feeling too long without action. Try new things. Chill on caffeine if you can. Love yourself. Be gentle. Do what you can and understand you are not crazy for wanting an equal partner. It's not asking too much. Even if you're a stay-at-home mom, you have so much on your plate and deserve to have a safe space and someone who hears you. So I hope this helps a bit to get you to a place of calmness and help with your overwhelming feelings, even if it's temporary. Your body just needs to reset. I hear you, I see you, and I'm here for you. That's all I have for this week, guys. Until next time, I'm Paige. Bye.